we asked to do this communication to perhaps give some information as to what is happening, what is coming, what to be prepared for once again. So we understand that these are troubling times for many, that your foundation of stability, safety and security, the world that you thought you knew so well, has changed. What you would normally rely on, you can no longer rely upon. And so for many that creates an insecurity and a fear. And the whole objective is to place you in survival mode, because survival mode keeps you in 3D and 4D. So the whole objective of the journey at the moment from, we would say, the dark, we'll just call it the dark, and that encompasses everything. From the dark is to keep you in 3D and 4D so they continue to exist. And as you're probably witnessing, it's getting harder and harder for some to remain calm, and yet for others easier and easier, because the more that you honor the truth within yourself, the easier it becomes to create the reality that you want. So for many of you, miracles are happening. Sudden happenings that you've wanted for years are coming about. Why would that be? Could it be that the very energy the dark is trying to harness within you is becoming activated? That 5D is indeed already physically manifesting itself? And so because it is there, you can create anything you wish. However, because you have been indoctrinated into a square, saying, well, you can only create this at the moment, you can only create that, and you can't do this, and you should do that, and you can't do that, and you could have done that, but you didn't do that. You know, the cycle goes on. So what's happening is the dark is telling you what you are allowed to create, because they're harnessing your energy. And we are telling you, don't allow that to happen. Concentrate on your heart and the light within, and all that you desire will begin to happen for you. You will see miracles around you in your life and the lives of those around you. The trick is to wish well for others. As long as you are focused on, you know, we could say revenge, you won't receive goodness. As long as you are focused on anger and hate, you cannot create the goodness in your life. Remember, we spoke many times about this. The light creates. And if you're coming from the shadow aspect of yourself of anger, regret, doubt, fear, then you're not going to create anything. The only thing you're going to do is create more of that. Because you are all creative beings. And with 5D streaming onto the planet at the moment, you are being harnessed to create. You are being told to create. You are being to create darkness, pain, misery, fear, but you're also being told what you can create and given limitations to your creation. And we are asking you not to. Now, what you will also see, that there is a lot of people speaking up about many different things at the moment, and they're people that are attracting those that are seeking. They're seeking answers, they're seeking comfort, they're seeking safety and security. And what they're being told is, don't worry, you know, some alien beings or Jesus Christ or, you know, some miraculous thing is going to happen. You don't need to do anything. Just hide in your house and feel comforted that, you know, somebody else is doing it all for you. Now, this is one of the biggest lies of all, And it's sort of taken over the what you call New Age or the spiritual community, in that trust in someone else, give your power to something or someone else. And we are saying the whole essence of 5D is unity consciousness. It's not about advocating yourself and your empowerment to someone else, but co-creating with others. So being told to stay inside, being told to, just don't worry, sit over there, we'll do it all, give it all to us, send us your donations, support my channel, do all of this, give me your money, and I'll make sure that it's all taken care for you, is not a solution. In fact, it is a distraction, and it is disempowering. What you require at the moment is to awaken and empower your 5D reality, which starts with unity consciousness. And we have said this over and over, and we're saying it again. It starts with unity consciousness. So in other words, those that are saying you'll wake up in the morning and you'll have all these amazing psychic abilities, it can't start if you're not in unity consciousness. And unity consciousness starts with the recognition of unity. What is unity? Internally, externally. So if your mind is frozen with fear, if your mind is locked down with doubt, and you're repeating over and over to yourself, I don't have to worry, someone else will do it for me, I just have to wait this out, etc., etc., then you're not in unity consciousness, because you're shutting down part of yourself. Your mind is there for a reason. Your mind is to analyze, to witness. So if you can see what's going on and you're witnessing what's going on, and your analytical brain is saying to you something isn't right, then listen to that. And then go into your heart and ask, what is my calling in this? Unity consciousness is about helping others. It's not about buying a bunker for yourself, grabbing all the food and hiding out there. It's helping others. So what can you do to be of service at the moment? Can you, if you're not allowed to go outside, can you call people? Can you make a phone call? Can you do an image with them on Skype or something to comfort people? Can you do that? Can you write? Can you read? Can you sing? Can you draw? Can you vision a world without entrapment? Would be more important, rather than hiding yourself away thinking, I'm just waiting for the time that I can get out. Well, why don't you sit and vision, dream a world that is so different to the one that you're currently in? So we're asking you to actively use the energy of the 5D, which is unity consciousness, creation, abundance, everything flowing. So when you start to think about, okay, what can I do to help others? Maybe you've had the insight, the epiphany to create something, to sew something, to bake something, to write something, to sing something, to create a garden, whatever it may be. Go into your creativity, because that will also awaken unity consciousness. Unity consciousness is being one with everything, nature, animals, each other. What you're being told is to be afraid of each other, which is the complete opposite to unity consciousness. What are you afraid of? Afraid of a virus that actually doesn't really exist to the extent that they say it does. You're afraid that people will judge you and think that you're a bad person, you're not a good citizen for not obeying all the rules from a government system that has been bought by other systems that wishes to see how far they can go with your psyche and the psyche of your children. So if not for yourself, think of your children and the world that you are leaving for them. Because this is a battle for your soul, a battle for your consciousness. And no one is going to save you. You are going to save you. In other words, you awakening to who you are is going to save you. And you might say, well, what can I do? I'm one person. I have no power in this. I don't even have any money. So you've given all your power away to money then. Well, that's an interesting concept. So why don't you look at why you don't have any money and look at what's holding you back from that? Money is an energy, isn't it? It is an energy that is an exchange for goods or services. So it's an energetic exchange that has been bought into physical matter. So if you don't have any money, what do you value your physical exchange at? Do you feel worthless? Do you feel not good enough? Do you feel it's beyond your class system? What's holding you back? So have a look at that. Work with someone on it. Find something that stimulates you to activating your inner abundance. It's not external, it's inner. Abundance is inner. Those that grow up in wealth naturally assume and believe they will always be wealthy. So they might have bad times, but they get themselves back up again and they create more wealth because they're in the vibration of it. And those of you that don't have it are not in the vibration of it. And you have been told and conditioned that you never will be, just to think of a little bit. And you know what's interesting is that it's okay to have abundance. And it's okay to have a little bit, if that's what makes you happy. So abundance isn't your worth. Your worth is your abundance. Does that make sense to you? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know, for some, abundance might be their own home and a little garden. That's their absolute abundance, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly beautiful. Their abundance may be enough to feed all the stray animals they love. That could be their essence of abundance. So when you look at the visceral suggestion of abundance on your planet at the moment, it's to be a billionaire. It's no longer a millionaire. It's a billionaire to have all this power over. That's not abundance. That's abuse. It's got nothing to do with abundance. But the interesting thing is, those people who have those billions, believe they're worth it. Right? They totally believe in themselves. They believe in what they're doing. Doesn't matter if, this is how it works, energy works. It doesn't matter if their belief in selling children is a good thing, and they're going to earn money from it, then that's what they'll earn money from. Right? It's their passion. It's what they love to do. And whether it's selling children, selling drugs, selling computers, selling hair, selling jewelry, it doesn't matter what it is. It's the energy that you give to it. So you have people that say, why do bad people have so much abundance? Well, maybe because they enjoy being bad and they enjoy what they do. They love it. And they've figured out, okay, how do I feed off other people's energy? I know, I make them fear me. What do you do when a bully comes in the room and you know it's a bully? You fear it. What do? You close yourself down. You try to even hide your energy, or sometimes hide yourself physically. So what has the bully achieved? Complete dominance of you. And then you'll feel grateful for the $5 the bully gives you for the hour's work. The bully knows exactly what it's doing. We're asking you not to hide your energy, not to withdraw your energy, to look at your worth. And abundance comes in many, many forms, doesn't it? It doesn't just come in money. It comes in friendships. It comes in love. It comes in free food, a home to live in that's the perfect price. It comes in the gift of life, the gift of friendships, the gift of help and support when you need it. It's not all about money, because some of you think, well, if I had money, then I would be safe and secure. Maybe not. Maybe you'd have a lot of money, but you still wouldn't feel safe and secure because you maybe don't have friends that you can rely on. Or maybe you have people that are just after you for your money. There's a lot of factors in having a lot of money. It's a very complicated, seemingly complicated situation. However, as we see it in spirit, it's not so complicated. It is a simple exchange of energy. And if your energy and your worth is low, then the exchange will not be high. It's very basic. And at the moment, particularly over the next 18 months, the energy that's going to pour down onto the planet and activate everyone's DNA to open up. You know, you've got, what do they call it? Junk DNA. You've got a brain that apparently you only use 15% of at best. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But why do they say that to you over and over and over again? So you won't question it. And you won't do something about it. And we are saying to you, open up. You know, our daughter does these meditations on the weekend. That's what it's all about. Opening your brain, going into different parts of yourself, activating your abundance in many different forms. Activating your gifts, connecting with your home, spiritually, connecting with the earth to feel safe and secure. There's a lot of things around those meditations. Because the energy that's coming in at the moment, you see it by the Schumann resonance, it's a wonderful opportunity to grow, to open up. But if you remain in fear, your life will get worse, because your ability to create and manifest is growing. So make sure you focus on the things that you truly want and not the things you're being told to want. In other words, fear, restriction, delay. Right? And you might say, but I'm only one person. Nonsense. There are many other people out there. But if you don't open yourself up, you won't greet them, because like attracts like. So you're moving up to, we're going to do a few more of these communications, but you've got the 1111 coming up, right? What's 1111? Well, many of you see it on your clocks, on your watches. You see the numbers on number plates all around you. What was the 1111? It is the gateway. It's all about this new beginning. And you've been getting these signs for years. 1111 basically means you're in the flow. You're in alignment with the new energies. And so what do you want to be in alignment with? We ask you. Yeah, what do you want to be in alignment with? And know that when you join together, you amplify it. And it's not about, it's like we said earlier, it's not about amplifying one person's life. It's about amplifying everyone's life. So you've got a lot of people that are giving information, but they're not giving solutions. If they're not giving a solution, walk away. Because some of the information is good and some of it is a game. So we'll just give you a couple of examples. There's this example of all of these, well-known politicians that are apparently evil are dead, and now there's clones that represent them. Ridiculous. Now, they might have body doubles that go out on occasion for them so they can go off and do something else. So it's kind of misleading as to where they are. Yes, they have body doubles, absolutely. Famous people also have them. So yes, that does exist. Have they all been killed and trialed and everything else? No, they haven't. If they had, your world would be a much nicer place. And to think, oh, well, we're justified, that it's all a game, they're just trying to wake everyone up, that's why they're allowing it to happen, and they're still making these outrageous, disgusting decisions. That's not true. That's just an excuse. Why, if they're already dead, would they allow people to starve if the new ones that have taken over are good? If good has completely prevailed in all manner of politics and world leaders, then why are they allowing people to starve? That's not good. So we're telling you, anyone that's saying to you, oh, people have been tried and they've been killed, is rubbish. It's rubbish. It's not true. Some of what they say may be true, but some of it's not, and that's not the solution, is it? It's just information. Okay, so you can breathe easy because the bad people are dead. So just go along with what's happening, right? Go back, sit in your house, put the mask on, be a good citizen, do as you're told, because, we've got it under control. It's rubbish. And it's the same with this Gisara. Oh, you're all going to get millions. It's rubbish. Okay, let's put it to you this way. If you all suddenly wake up in the morning and you all are worth millions, then who's going to go to work that day? No one. Do you think the people that pick up your garbage, that cook in restaurants, that grow food, that manufacture food, that do your hair, create clothing, do you think they're going to go to work if they're worth millions? Do you think they're still going to be creative and contribute to the planet if they're worth millions? No, that's what we mean. No, it's not going to be like that. And then there's the other one. All debts will be gone. And all you need to do is sign this document. So what are you going to do? You're going to sign a document that says, I'm freeing myself of all debts, isn't that wonderful? But I still have the right to live in my house and drive my car and everything else. But what if you do something that the government or the banking system that you've relinquished your debts to doesn't like? And then all of a sudden, you don't have a house that you're privileged to live in anymore because it now belongs to them. You signed it over. That's what it's about. You signed it over. So then what are you going to do? So there is a system coming in that's not about, okay, we're going to take all your problems away. No, there will still be banking systems and there will still be loaning systems, only the interests won't be as ridiculous as they are, right? So the repayment system will be ethical. Perhaps education will be free. So no student loan debt, because it will be free, because that should be a normal part of life, isn't it? For your country is to have educated people. When you have educated people in your country is richer. So, of course, education would be free. What else would be free? Energy would probably be free, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be wonderful? If you didn't have to worry about your heating or your cooling and the cost of it, and be stressed and living in a stress response all the time because of bills like that. Well, there is free energy coming. So, yes, that's true. So in that way, if you just look at debts being reasonable, so for instance, if you've got a loan and you've still got 30 years to pay it off or 25 years to pay it off because of the interest rate, and you could have paid it off in 10 years, well, maybe you will be reduced to 10 years, right? So the interest isn't accumulative. And so you don't have that stress. And then you might have no utility bills. That's a relief, isn't it? No student bills. Well, that's a relief. But you're not going to get free food and free living and free everything else, because energy exchange will always exist. And you figured it out quite nicely, is to use a currency. What's currency? Money. Money's a currency. What is currency? It's a current. It's a current of energy between two people. Right? So it's an energy field that's been turned into physical matter. I want you to think of it like that. And perhaps it will flow a little bit better for you. So we really wanted to discuss that, because we've been, watching, overlooking and seeing that there is so much information out there that is taking people away from themselves. Like we said, if they do not give you a solution and they're only giving you information, step away. Because that's not coming from the light. Solution must be instructions or education or awakening to your own empowerment. It's not about taking the power from you and saying, well, everything's going to be okay. Just donate to my channel and I'll make sure of it. There's nothing wrong with donating to something, and maybe you feel better because you've advocated responsibility. But we would say, think of something you're willing to be responsible for each day for the planet. Maybe it's as simple as picking up a little bit of plastic on the ground as you walk along to help Mother Nature. Maybe it's as simple as recycling your products in your home, or finding that there's an elderly person in your street that's going hungry and dropping them a meal once a day. Acts of kindness. It's not about you, I'm going to get everything. What are you going to give? And we know that there are many that say, as soon as we said that, we can hear it, but I give everything. I'm a giver. I'm exhausted from giving. Yes, you are. So what's your lesson? Sit down and receive. That's why everybody loves you, because all the people around you are takers. Oh, look, this one over here, they'll give us everything. Let's go after them. I don't have to do anything. They'll be responsible for me. So unity consciousness is a balance of giving and receiving. It's a balance within the self of heart and mind. Yeah? And physical reality and spiritual reality. It's a balance of it all. And you are being driven to it at the moment with what's coming to the planet. Now, so you've got the 11:11, which is a wonderful time to think about what you want to be in alignment with. Set some goals in your heart. This is, setting goals in your heart is not, I want a new boyfriend, I want a washing machine, I want a new car, I want like a child's Christmas list. Setting an intention and setting a goal is, I'm in the vibration of love. And everyone who comes into my vibration feels that and awakens that in themselves. I'm in the vibration of being in alignment with a beautiful home. And I'm very grateful for that home. And, be grateful for the one you're in currently as well. Because what you're going to find out about manifesting in 5D is it's all about being in the heart and coming from the heart. Doesn't mean you have to be mindless and an idiot. It's not that. It's not, let go of your mind completely. No, your mind's there for a reason. Use it. But use all of it. Don't listen to the propaganda, you can only use 50% of your mind, 15% of your mind. You've got two strands of DNA and the other 10 is rubbish. It's junk DNA. It's ridiculous. Open it up. And we're going to tell you it's going to be easier and easier to open that up as more and more light comes on the planet. So what is going to happen? You're already seeing it. A separation of realities. So you will have those that are, in the heart, going with the flow, being a bit of service and a bit of receiving, right? So it's in balance. What's receiving? It doesn't necessarily mean, I've got to receive from this person because I gave them something. It's not a tally. But what if receiving was, I'm going to give myself half an hour to meditate? What if receiving was energy from the heavens? What if receiving was, I'm going to give my body 20 minutes of exercise and breathing? I'm going to give to my body. I'm going to allow my body to receive my love. What if that was receiving? So if you're open to receiving that, would it be all right to assume that once you start opening to yourself, that others will open to you as well? And maybe you'll receive a compliment. Maybe you'll receive the right job. Maybe you'll receive a new home. Maybe you'll receive a way out of a situation that you never thought was possible because a good Samaritan comes in and helps you. And that's the way it will happen, not through manipulating, controlling, lying and cheating. Let's look at what's happening on the planet with that energy at the moment. It's all being exposed, right? Every time someone lies, cheats, does something corrupt, it's all coming out. It's all coming out. And it will all come out over the next 18 months. And it will be worse than you can possibly imagine. Deeper than you can possibly imagine. Why is that? Because more of 5D is coming onto the planet. Right? What does that mean? It means that you're able, and we've said this over and over, you're able to manifest instantly. Now, that's not going to happen for everyone suddenly. You'll start, because if you did, most of you would manifest hell on earth because of your fears and your doubts and your insecurities and your low self-worth. So that's why you have this period of grace where you're feeling it in waves. So there's the Schumann resonance, peak, and you get a lot of light, all these things come up, and that all comes out, and then you get a little bit of rest time to recalibrate and adjust. And then another round happens. So these are periods of grace where you get to also work on yourself. Say, okay, I feel a little bit tight around this. I'm a little bit fearful around that. So rather than have it blow up in my life, why don't I go get healing on it? So go get some healing. Work on it rather than being in resistance and allowing the planet and all your energy to show you what it is by you re-experiencing it again. We would call it the brick or the feather. So the feather is the gentle nudge of knowing, okay, I've got some pain here, or I've got some restriction here, or I've got some negativity here, and noticing it and going and get help, and then you don't have to experience the brick, which is the outside world slamming into you and saying, why didn't you listen? Now you've got to experience it so you can release it, right? So the brick or the feather, which one do you want? Because this period of grace is there to help you. And we can tell you that most of the people listening to this, you don't have a lot of bad karma, my dears. We know, we hear you. You come to us, oh, my bad karma. It's not so bad. We haven't done, a communication with anyone who's out there killing people. Right? Your karma's not that bad. It's not as bad as you perhaps are being led to believe. Because most of you are inherently good, which is why you want to follow the rules. Only those rules have been created without alignment to the universe. So these are man-made rules to control you. They're not rules to allow you to grow and to express yourselves, right? So as you move closer towards the end of the year, 21/12, so the 21st of December 2020, is a big alignment in the heavens. There'll be a worldwide meditation. We encourage everyone to join in on that. Everyone. If you do not, you cannot, the fact is it'll be held in Uluru in Australia. It's all about, we can't say too much because it's all about the indigenous folk. And we're very, very delighted that the indigenous is starting to speak up and actively contributing to the healing of what needs to be done. So these indigenous are a small group of leaders. They're not interested in you going there and helping them. They don't need your help in that regard because they will be 100% in positive alignment with their goal. What they need is energetic support. So they need the whole world, people from all over the world, to be humming at that time, right? To lend the energy so they can use the energy and focus it. So you, my darlings, will be the generators of the energy. It's not up to you to focus it. It's only up to you to generate it so they can plug into it and use it. Now, this was meant to happen in 2012. It was also meant to happen in the year 2000. It's been meant to happen a few times because the world's population has not been totally in alignment with it. We haven't had a certain quota of awareness to activate it. But it is the hope of all of the divine councils that you will achieve it this time round, because you have a lot more people who are awakened. But we are asking you to generate the energy. We're not asking you to focus the energy. And from that, the great awakening will be spurred. And that awakening is taking the consciousness or aligning the consciousness with Lemuria. We spoke about this before. So after that, it may feel like the world has gone mad again in a basket, because the darkness has to create events that instill fear in order to be relevant and present. To remain on the planet, they have to create that. That's the truth. And you, all of you listening, we are asking you not to engage in the hatred, the fear, the anger. The moment you start to feel it, say to yourself, okay, yeah, I acknowledge I'm feeling anger. This is really annoying me. I don't like this. Feels very uncomfortable. So wrong. I don't like it. And then you can have the realization, but you know what? I am not going to create this. No, I'm not giving it any energy. No, not in my reality. Then you can hum a little bit to get that out of your brain, and then start to think about, what are you in alignment with? What sort of world do you want? Now, you might not have a big perception of what that is, given your past life experiences, your hereditary experiences that have been passed down to you, or your experiences in this world from your earlier years. You might not have a good solid foundation of what it could be, but you could start with something. And that something could be, I'm just going to draw something that's really beautiful, or I'm going to sing something, or dance something, or plant something, or read something, or cook something. Where am I going to place my energy in something that I like, that I enjoy? So it's not about, well, I'm going to go out into the world and I'm going to create all of this in the world. No, it's to be it. Be it. Do not go outside of yourself and distract yourself. Be it. Take ownership of it. That's what 5D is. You see, they want you, the darkness wants you to put all your energy outside of yourself. Oh my God, here comes another problem. Oh my God, there's another virus. Oh my God, we're all going to die. Oh, now we've got the financial thing going on. So it's constantly outside of yourself. Why? Because they're draining your energy. Or every time you do it, they drain your energy. So take it back to yourself, hum a little bit, sing a little bit, dance a little bit. Think to yourself, what do I need to put myself back in balance, and what am I offering to the planet? Well, first of all, you could offer to the planet your peace, your trust in the universe, your trust in yourself, your trust in your own inner knowing. Because if you're really listening to your own inner knowing, you know that what they're trying to pull you into is rubbish. You know it's rubbish. You know it's negative. You know it's not good for you. So why are you going into it? Because you want to be a good person. Do the right thing. This is how I'm going to save the planet, is by, decreasing my oxygen levels and living in fear every day is how I'm going to improve the planet. It's really absurd, isn't it? But this is what you're being educated to believe. And we are saying to you, go back to self. Go back to your worth. So when you start to feel, oh my God, I don't have enough money. What if this happens? What if that happens? I'm really worried about money. Okay, now more light's coming in, so your ability to manifest has increased. So what are they telling you? You're in poverty. You're going to remain in poverty. Look at all the problems we're showing you. This is your reality. Don't try to create freedom financially, because that means we lose some of that money and we want it all because we're greedy little demons. So when you see the truth of that and you go, I'm playing into it, there I am, playing into it again, acknowledge it. Don't give yourself a difficult time over it. Just acknowledge it, and then say to yourself, okay, what can I do right now that makes me feel abundant? It could be having a bath with some nice oils, putting on a nice piece of clothing, doing your makeup, doing your hair might make you feel abundant. Walking down the street might make you feel abundant. Dress like that. And you might want to just sit and embed in your heart what it feels like to be free financially. And then you say to yourself, this is what I'm in alignment with. Because every dimension has a plane of existence that you can hook into. Those planes of existence are co-created by collective consciousness. And of course, in 3D and 4D, there's some pretty good ones and some pretty horrible ones. 5D is new. You can create anything in there. However, if you go into pain and suffering and the rest of it, you're not in 5D at all, because you can't enter 5D with that vibration. And 5D ensures that you're constantly creating a beautiful reality for yourself and mankind. But you don't get entry into it if you're screaming with fear, or if you have hatred towards another, or you're jealous or envious or something like this. Wishing bad upon another. All of these people who are doing these spells to wish bad upon another, they're all going to sit in that reality. There's a difference between releasing yourself karmically from someone and projecting pain onto them, isn't there? Huge difference. You can release yourself karmically from someone. I release you. I set you free. I don't want to pay back. I don't want anything from you. I'm releasing you. And I'm opening myself up to receiving something that's in alignment with me. Because as long as I'm attached to you, wanting, craving, desiring, I'm in the reality of worthlessness, of victim, and of poverty. So I'm setting you free. So when you hear the government saying to you, and all the financials, there's going to be a depression like you've never experienced before, just look at it and say, I forgive you for that, but I release myself from that. And sit and think about what it is to have financial freedom for you. What does that mean for you? Because everybody has a different interpretation of it. And we can assure you it's not about getting up in the morning and thinking, I've got millions in the bank account from Nasara and I don't have to do anything. And that's my repayment because, the evil government enslaved me and my parents and so on and so on. Freedom does not come from a dollar sign. Freedom comes from within. You are sovereign beings. You're all free. You're just trapped in your mind and your emotions. So if you're thinking about financial abundance, perhaps you would like to think about how you would like to create that. What service would you give? What product would you give to create a current of energy between you and the world? So do you have any questions?
At the moment, a lot of people are calling people who don't believe in these measures that they are conspiracy theorists. Mm-hmm. What would you say to them?
Well, it's just like calling someone a witch, isn't it? Mm. It's the same thing. It's a cover-up for, I don't want to look at this. It's really, let's not expose this. It's flippant. It's silly. It doesn't matter. If someone calls you a conspiracy theorist, fine. Forgive them and move on, because eventually the truth will be revealed. That's what this is all about. And that's why it's happening. And the dark is doing a very good job of putting shiny objects in front of you and saying, look over here. You just had recently a situation in France where some people were arrested, right? Ministers within the government were arrested. So before that could really take hold, what happened? A beheading. Oh, let's distract over here. Let's all hate these people. You know. And we'll just cover that other thing up. We'll just sweep it under the carpet. So it's all a distraction. So saying someone's a conspiracy theorist is a badge of honor, really, isn't it? Right? So think of it like that. Oh, wow, I think differently. You know, it's a badge of honor, because they will, the unfortunate thing is that when these people suddenly realize, now for some of you, you've taken years or months to come to the realizations that you have. You know, the whole concept of the matrix, the red pill, all of this. So you've taken a while to come into that. And even in that time, you felt like your brain was cracking open, that the reality that you once lived no longer exists, and it feels a bit odd. Well, can you imagine if people woke up and suddenly they realized everything that every person and everything that they believed in, that they contributed to, was a lie?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it is. So you know, have a little bit of how can we say, tenderness towards these people. So when they call you a conspiracy theorist, forgive them, send a little bit of tenderness towards them, and walk away, because the truth will be revealed to them, and it's not going to be easy for them to cope with in most cases. Do you have another question?
Yeah, how do you see now American elections? They're quite close.
Well, no, they're not really close. That's an illusion.
No, but I mean time-wise.
Oh, time-wise. Yeah, they are quite close. Look, a lot more is going to come out about corruption, and the corruption is all over the world. But it comes out of America. Why America? Because we've said before, it's like the throat chakra of the planet, you know. So obviously that's where the truth is going to be revealed, and then a domino effect is going to happen, because a lot of countries are involved in the corruption. How they launder money as government systems, so as politicians, how they launder the money. It's all going to come out, and people are going to be horrified. Now, it's obviously not all going to come out before the election, but it will continue to come out over the next year. And when that starts to happen, it's already started. The truth is being revealed. There's no stopping it. And they may try to stop it, but they're not going to be able to stop it. We tell you they're not going to be able to stop it. Why? Because what they don't realize is, and we said this before, whenever the dark thinks it wins, the light wins, because the light's able to turn things around, shine the light on something. With the virus and the way that they pushed it as much as they did, even those that are completely afraid know that something isn't right in their being. They sense it. Something isn't right. Whether they are aligning that something isn't right with, oh my God, worse is going to come, it's so bad, or they're aligning it with, I don't 100% believe this. Either way, they are feeling something isn't right. And when the truth is revealed to them, then they will go, I knew something wasn't right, but I didn't know what it was. So then they'll feel ease in themselves. So these elections are really a fight of good against bad. And we've said this before. This Mr. Trump has aligned with light alien beings. Every president is given the choice which side do they align with? And he is the first one to align with the light in a very long time. His choice. And of course, there are a lot that are aligned with the dark, and their corruption. They're fighting so much because they don't want the corruption to all be exposed. But we're telling you, there is no stopping it. And what did we say before a few months ago? All the whistleblowers will start to come out and speak the truth. And that's exactly what's happening in every area of the planet. And more will come. You will not be able to stop it, because the light that is coming down is pushing it all up to the surface. And the dark is doing a very, very strong job of distraction by way of hatred and fear. And that's all they're doing. We're asking you not to go into that, to take ownership of your energy and not give it to them. Do you have another question?
Yes, since a lot of your audience is from Slovenia, I would maybe ask about how you see the development of this situation in Slovenia. There is again a lockdown, there's a curfew.
Yeah. Well, you know, this year we said 2020 vision, the Great Awakening. And of course, a lot of people are speaking about this. Next year is the year of revolution. 2021. We will do another communication about that. So Slovenia isn't out of the woods. They're going to have a revolution. And we've spoken about Slovenia before, and the government and the situation that will eventually happen. It will have to happen because there will be no stopping it. Now, the only reason they're having another shutdown, which we didn't think they would because of the consciousness. You see, the countries that aren't having complete shutdowns are the ones that have a certain level of consciousness. So there's a certain quota of people that are saying no. But because they have had financial difficulty along with it, people become weak in their energy field, in their consciousness. So there are a lot that have aligned with it. And because of that, they're experiencing again. So what did they need to do? We'll tell you the biggest problem, not just in Slovenia, but in any country. It doesn't matter where it is. People aren't coming together. People are not coming together. They're looking after themselves. You know, our daughter set up this meditation group, and people come together. Good people come together. But do they share it with others to add more to it, to enhance the numbers so that you have a stronger frequency? No. They keep it to themselves because they think they're learning something. Not everyone, but because they think they're learning something that gives them power over someone else. So we're back then to, how do you feel about yourself? Your worth. If you don't feel you're worth a lot, you will not share. Because you start to play the game of, well, if I've got some information or some ability that gives me power over someone else, I'm in the winning seat. But that's not the case of the future. So it's not about, our daughter doesn't act like a leader. She just guides you through a meditation. And there are individuals in there that have very strong groups of people that they also work with. And they do recommend our daughters. But there are others that don't. We're just saying it.
Yeah.
That people need to start saying, what am I giving? What am I giving? Not what am I taking, what am I receiving, what am I giving at this moment? If you cannot give an hour of yourself once a week to co-create 5D reality so that you, your family and your community can live in it, then we would say that you're not going to rise to anything other than poverty consciousness at this point. If you can't give an hour of your time for the goodness of the planet.
Yeah.
You see, we think it's wonderful that this, meditation for the world is happening on the 21st of the 12th. There'll probably be another one on the 11th. But these are wonderful events that a lot of people join into, and they do create amazing results. Amazing results. Can you imagine if you did that every single weekend? What would happen?
Wow.
It would be incredible. There would be no stopping it. You would have free energy next year.
Wow, yeah.
If you did that. But people don't want to give the time. The ones that are in this group give the time.
Yeah.
Right? They are dedicated, they give the time, but what we're saying is it's not being spread out.
Yes. Such a pity, isn't it?
Well, it is, but it's also partly advertising. Our daughter refuses to advertise.
Mm-hmm.
And yet the other people do advertise. So perhaps she could look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. What we're saying is that more and more people need to get involved in it to empower the situation.
That would be so good.
Well, anyway, it's a meditation. Whether it's our daughter's or someone else's, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as you are inputting something to a group with a common goal for the betterment of the planet, not just for yourself. That's what's good about it. And that's why we like these worldwide meditations. Because they're a calling for people of all nations to put aside their religion, their culture, everything, and come together with a common goal. And this is what's going to be needed in order to get through what you're going to need to get through. Because if you think the fight is over, it's not. It's only starting. And we know there are many that are saying, oh, it'll be over, everything will be fine. Everything. Well, it will be over. And when we say it's only starting, what we mean by that is the consciousness, the fight for consciousness. Why do you think they want to keep you physically separated? Because your auric fields communicate with each other. Your light fields light up each other. It's the 100 monkey, right? You feed off each other. If they can keep you distant from each other and giving all your energy to fear to them, to be guided by them, they win. So if you go into meditation and you join together energetically because you're intending it. And anyway, like we said, it doesn't matter if you are 2 meters apart or 50 meters apart or you're on the other side of the world. With intention, you can join together. They can't stop it. Maybe that's what some of you would want to do, is to sit and intend yourself connecting with people around you. Being a vehicle of light and just sparking that light off in others. Do you have another question?
No.
Good. Okay. So we will do another communication about this year of revolution. It's not that you have to go fighting in the streets. So don't be afraid. It's not about that. You're in a fight for consciousness. Do not give your consciousness to that which is not creating a beautiful world for you and your family and your friends. Stay in your hearts. Don't be beguiled by the, promise of millions of dollars either, because that's giving your power away to something that doesn't exist. Something in the future. What is 5D about? Present moment. That's why you're asking to be present. Be a present to yourself by being present in your body, in this moment. What do you need to feel abundant? You can be abundant in any moment. Do not allow the outside world to tell you that you're not, because if you listen to that, you will be poor. Because they know the energy frequency that's coming down right this moment and will continue to grow is all about creation energy. So create a beautiful world for yourself. The more that you sit in your body and understand what is right for you, feels what's right for you, the stronger your energy will become. And know that you will be manifesting from moment to moment the world that you live in. So at this moment, the fight is on. On the 21st of December, it will reach a crescendo, let's say, right? So then it will start to, what their plan is to give you a little bit, take a bit away, give you, let you feel safe for a little bit. Things might be going back to normal, and then take it away. So they're playing with you to the point where you get so exhausted with worry that you say, for God's sake, just let me sign the dotted line and I'll put my arm up for you. Give me whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want so that I can be free. That's the game. And they will not give up that game so easily. And you have some incredible warriors on the planet at the moment speaking truth. Many speaking truth, many doing good, many coming up against the systems. And they are tired. They need your support. They need your energy, right? They need your help. But those, and they are in action. They are brave and they are in action. But those that are just giving you information, like we said before, but not a solution, be cautious of. Now, we're not talking about, the news on the TV, because that's all information, isn't it? Mm-hmm. We're not talking about that. And even that you need to be careful of, right? Because you don't know what they're trying to control you with. And what you don't know, well, some of you do, but certainly mind control is being used through your computers, your television, everything. It's all being used. So when you get called a conspiracy theorist by someone who's been listening to that news, have pity on them in some way, you know, because they have been mind controlled. So we will leave this communication for now. We will do more, of course, and we will leave you in our love and our light and our truth and our blessings. And we thank you so much for allowing us to share in your energy and to be of assistance to you this day. Goodbye.